Damen und Herren, Einstellungen sind auf Stadium in 5 Minuten.
Ladies and gentlemen, Einstellung will be on stage in 5 minutes.
So are you going to ask the question, do I need to repeat the questions back, or is this because this is audio, are we both going to be on it?
We're both going to, the intention, if I ever do anything with this, would be to have not to have me narrating it, or if there is a narrator, I would not do it, I would not narrate using this material, I would narrate, I would do a voiceover later on.
Okay.
You know, so we're going to be going for you answering the question in the first couple of lines technique. So I'm interviewing Matthew Claridge on Saturday the 19th of March, 400 metres away from where Tony Iommi was born. It's Saturday morning, and I'm speaking to Matt about the band Einstellung with a view to documenting the fans' perspective, so that should anybody ever find this box full of Einstellung tapes, it's not just the voices of the band and their former manager that can be heard, but there's other voices. That's what I'm looking for. So I've got loads of the band, I've got loads of me. I want somebody else who doesn't work on it, who is a fan. So Matthew Claridge, you are an Einstellung fan. Can you tell me about how the circumstances in which you first heard them, and what were your first impressions during the process of listening to them, and sort of maybe afterwards? Because for me, it was Road to Damascus.
Einstellung, looking forward to playing at the Town Hall. Been there with Andrew Parker to see a band called Tenari Wen. I've seen another couple of kind of jazzy type bands there. Just think that our sound will suit the venue really well. Just think that I'm really looking forward to filling the venue with our noise, our sonic attack. And I don't know, I think it's got such a reputation. Everyone's obviously heard of it. All our friends that haven't been for a long time, all our fans, hopefully see them all there, but we haven't seen for a little while. Just be good to catch up with people. Obviously everyone's quite impressed. It's quite an impressive thing to have on our Einstellung CV, and really looking forward to it.
It's like the cup final of shows that we've done, really. It's the biggest show. It's at quite a prestigious venue, and for me particularly it's a bit like Wembley, because I'm a Villa fan, and last night we beat Blackburn 6-4, and I'm going to Wembley, so I'm pretty chuffed. Yeah, it's going to be a good show.
For the set, we're looking at playing the whole of the new album, which we've just listened to in the car. It's all been remastered, and it's put us in the mood. We're going to play the whole album.
Hello, my name is Rob Horrocks, and welcome to Radio Stellung. In March 2006, I went down to a rock club called the Flapper and Firkin. That night, I saw a band that for me redefined the phrase noise pop. I was knocked out by their hypnotic repetition, their energy and their volume. That band was Birmingham's legendary Einstellung. Half a year and a classic debut album later, Einstellung are still going strong, and they've earned a distinguished place in West Midlands rock history as Birmingham's foremost krautrock band. So November 2006, when I heard that Einstellung.co.uk would shortly be going live, needless to say, I jumped at the chance to make the podcast, the, if you will, krautcast that you're about to hear. I wanted to capture the sounds, the thoughts and the humour of 4 young men in a rehearsal studio and elsewhere, and I got that. But I got more, a lot more. But hey, enough of me. To rock is paramount. Here is Andrew Parker to tell us a bit more about how the band first got together.
Okay, so a little bit about the history of Einstellung. Mart and myself, we knew each other for a while, but neither of us really knew we were in bands or anything, and then found that we liked the Mary Chain and Spaceman and all this, and thought, well, hang on a minute, we ought to really have a crack at something here. So me and him spent months in a rehearsal room droning away with a crappy keyboard and a guitar and just making noise. We thought, wow, we're ace, we're amazing, which we weren't. And then I saw Cy, who's the drummer. I saw him playing in Grover, another Birmingham band, and they were doing a cover of a Rolf Harris song, Sunrise I think it was. And I thought, oh my God, these are amazing. I didn't know it was Rolf Harris because they'd really crowded it up really. So I got the number off Alan at Bearos, and I did a gig with Grover as well, and we called him Grover when we were rocking in Sally. So I knew Cy a little bit, and after persuading him for weeks and weeks that he should come down and see what he thought, he came down and we had our first jam, and I think he was pretty much hooked then. He's a massive Stereolab fan, and monotonous crack rock beats, that's him all over. So that was the three of us. Then we tried a couple of bass players. One was Smart's friend, who's now in a band called Fires, I think they're called. They're doing quite well. So we tried him out for a while. And then so I said, well, we should try Steve from Grover. He wants to play guitar, but he might play bass. So he came along, and it was all very, hello mate, how you doing? All right. And we didn't know what to expect. And he said, I'll just have a listen, and then we'll just see what we think. So we started playing I think it was Tot. The three of us started playing with Steve listening, and literally a minute into the song, Steve had picked up his bass, plugged it in because he was really excited, and started playing bass. And we were like, fucking hell mate, that's wicked. He was like, oh yeah, and I can do this and I can do this, and we said, just do whatever you want, you're in. Right. And that was it then, the four of us. That's the history of Einstellung. I've always been in bands where we've all like different bits of music and it's come together well, but I've never been in a band where all four of us, we all like different stuff, but the music we do like, it's just a joy to play, and there's no egos or anything. We all write the songs, nobody writes more than anybody else, it's all 25% all the way, and everybody just loves it. We rock out more in rehearsal than we do at gigs, because a gig's good, it's a bonus, but it's all about the rehearsals, that's it. Not meaning that we're getting any better by rehearsing, but it's just good fun, playing at blistering levels and having tinnitus for the rest of the week.
Thanks for that, Andrew. More from the rest of the band in another edition of Radio Stellung, featuring demos and live material from the Powerkraut Vaults on einstellung.co.uk.
Damen und Herren, Einstellung.
The word Einstellung in German can mean lots and lots of different things. It depends on the context it's used in. I think my favourite is to view the world through one's own eyes, which sounds a little bit kind of arty, maybe even arty-farty, but I don't know, I quite like that one. Anything to do with attitude, anything to do with viewpoints, vision, it can even mean a camera lens. I think it can even mean part of the eye, the cornea of the eye, if I remember right. It can act with that as well.
In Birmingham, the word Einstellung means an instrumental rock band that sounds like this.
Steve, bassist from Einstellung. You've just heard a track called Unlucky, which is by far the shortest track we've ever played by a long shot. I seem to remember we wrote that in the early days when we'd only written 2 or 3 songs for Wings of Desire. I can't remember how we got to Smart's chant at the intro. I can't remember how that started, but it's brilliant, and we should use it someday. But I think we just felt that was too different to the rest of the album. The album kind of flows. The album is actually recorded pretty well as the songs were written as well. But that song just doesn't really fit. It's too short, it's too abrupt. It just doesn't fit with the album. But I think we should do something with it. It'd be nice as a B-side of a single, or on a Crackcast radio programme. But it's short and sweet. It's really nice. We used to play it live, and we used to play it at the start of sets. I think we ended with it on one occasion, and it always kind of went down well because everyone was really surprised that it finished so early and so abruptly. Maybe caused a bit of confusion. Is that just a bit of music they're doing in between songs, or have they made a complete balls up and they're actually trying to play another song? But we haven't played it for a long time. We play it occasionally at rehearsals to amuse ourselves, just for added kind of zest to rehearsals, but apart from that we don't really play it anymore. But I would like to record it properly one day, just to put it on something, because it is nice.
Wings of Desire, Einstellung's debut album, came out in Australia in 2006. It will soon be released in the UK by Capsule Records, a new label run by the people behind the Supersonic Festival. More about Supersonic in a minute, but first, how come Wings of Desire got released in Australia?
Andy Parker used to play in Catastrophe Wife with Cap Yelland, and they were talking with Chatterbox for release of one of their albums. The album All Kneel was going to be released on Chatterbox, didn't actually get released in the end, but there was a link there. So we contacted Chatterbox when we got the album recorded, sent it to them. They loved it to bits. It was on high rotation in their office, so it says on our website. It took a little bit of time, but they came round eventually and just said, yeah, we want to put this out in the Australian territory, and bang, out it is finally going to come out in the UK fairly soon. We've just signed a deal, a licensing deal really, with Capsule in Birmingham. They've got distribution through Southern. All looks good really. It's going to come out in the UK finally, which we've been waiting for ages, because most of our fan base is in the UK, I guess. It'd be really nice for people to buy it rather than hassle us. We're billed on this year's Supersonic Festival, 08 Supersonic. Really excited about that. We've been, I think all of Einstellung, or at least me and Parker, have been to the last three. It's always a great event, a real eclectic mix of stuff, always quite underground music, stuff that you don't get to hear very often, bands that just play the UK once in a blue moon, so it's nice to see people knowing that you'll never see them again unless they do Supersonic again. Yeah. And to be on the bill with Houghmiester this year, which is pretty cool. So there's a guy out of Noi, and there's a link because we do like Noi, for those that haven't quite realised that yet. Be nice to play with Battles as well. I do like Battles. My friend's PCM, and God knows how many others.
Thanks, Steve. That's it from another Krautcast. I'm going to leave it with a clip of a track from Wings of Desire, and this is probably the one that proves that Steve wasn't joking earlier when he said,
we do like Noi.
Damen und Herren, Einstellung.
Hello, you're listening to Krautcast, a podcast featuring Einstellung. You've just heard a brief excerpt of Ein Geinget from Einstellung's debut album Wings of Desire. In this edition of Krautcast, we'll be hearing about the band's influences during an interview with Andrew Moscardo Parker that was recorded at a local visitor attraction which, as you're about to hear, had decided to make the most of its geographical associations with Birmingham's major contribution to global popular culture. I'm just walking up to Aston Hall, which is a Jacobean mansion just near Villa Park. You can see it from the Aston Expressway as you come off the M6 at Spaghetti Junction and drive into Birmingham. And I'm up here today because it's Ozzy Osbourne Day. The council have organised a celebration of Aston's greatest export. So, what a setting. It's a beautiful building.
Check the little kid jeans in.
Sort of being in a room like this. This is like a oak panelled room with incredibly ornate panelling and all these hangings and, you know, and Ozzy Osbourne playing in the background. It's odd, isn't it? Please do not touch the tapestries.
Hello, it's Andrew from Einstellung and Rob's taking me around the National Ozzy Osbourne Day at Aston Hall.
I believe you're a bit of a fan. You and Einstellung are Sabbath fans.
Yeah, massive. I think they all are, yeah. I felt like I was leading the way at first, but they seem to all be massive fans. Secret, if anything.
Nice.
So yeah, Birmingham's heritage, you've got to love Sabbath. We drop tunes to D, which Sabbath were, and as soon as you get a distortion pedal or a fuzz pedal on it, then as soon as you do a riff, it's going to end up sounding like Sabbath, which is a good thing. You can still have your little dainty, plinky parts, but we like to give it some rocking as well. I came out of my old band Salad, and we were, you know, totally Sabbath all the way, down tunes, Sabbath riffage. It was all about master reality, quality. And then we started a new band, Einstellung. We started with Smart, and then we were looking for other people. And we wanted to be like a really nice band, because I've been playing such heavy loud stuff for so long that I thought, right, let's back off now, do something nice and plinky, but you just can't resist. And we started getting louder, and then as soon as you get louder, you have to play the riffs because it just feels right to do so. So that's where the riff came. It wasn't a case of saying, right, we all love Noi, we all love Sabbath, let's get something in the middle. We all love Noi, Spaceman, Spiritualised and all that sort of thing, My Bill of Anton, the noise of My Bill of Anton. We never really mentioned Sabbath because I never expected everybody to like it, but it seems they were universal and it did just all blend, and you can hear it in the songs. We've recorded our first album, Wings of Desire, named after a Wim Wenders film, which was remade terribly with Nicolas Cage, because we like the whole German thing, obviously, with the name Einstellung, which means a way of seeing how you want to see, especially through a lens, and that was a quote from Wim Wenders, so we thought Wings of Desire would be perfect to have as the title. It's got 6 tracks on there. I think only one's got singing on or shouting, which is nice. Recorded it with a friend called Andy Taylor, who's set up his own studio now in the Midlands. He recorded my other band, Sally and Catastrophe Wife, and he's really got hold of this one and took it on as his own little project, and he plays it to all his mates when they come round. So it's nice because a lot of producers, they record and it gets shelved, but he uses it as the demo to say, look, there's a lot of variety in the songs, a lot of different sounds, textures, have a listen, and other bands pick and choose from Einstellung, really.
Thanks for that, Andrew. We'll be hearing more about Wings of Desire from some of the other members of the band in the next edition of Krautcast. Until then, I'll leave you with another clip from an album track. This is Schwester.
Damen und Herren, Einstellung.
Sleep Easy Mr. Parker was the first single. 128-minute piece of music. We played it pretty well live at the rehearsal room. That was the rule, really. We had to all kind of play our parts once, and then we overdubbed a load of stuff. And anyway, that's the first single. Sounded really nice. But we talked about it for a while, whether we'd ever do anything with it, whether we'd ever play the song, and thought it'd be really nice to cap the release and make it that extra bit special with a one-off really nice performance, nice graphics. So we set that up at the Rainbow. Well, we didn't set up anything at all, actually. 7-inch cinema set the whole night up. We did the track with me on guitar and the Sally bass player Brownie on bass, so that we could capture more of what the song was about. Because I play some guitar on the track, like so. It went kind of as the record in a way. It built the same way the record did. There was a big, colossal noise section in the middle with lots of wah-wah guitars and phasers and really psychedelic. And then it kind of came out of that into the clean guitars at the end, which is really sweet and kind of twinkly and nice. It was about the same length as I remember as well. We pretty well got it spot on. Slightly shorter, if anything. Well, the way we decided to do it live, because it's such a long piece, there's no way we could count as many bars as would be needed for me to change my guitar to a wah-wah at 14.5 minutes, for example. So it was just an impossibility. So the only way we could actually recognise where we're all meant to change and do stuff as per the record was to have a laptop with numbers coming up, kind of 4, 3, 2, 1 every time there was a change, and then a brief explanation on the laptop of what the change was. Smart's guitar come in, or my guitar changed to wah-wah or something like that. And I think it was after about 10 minutes maybe, the laptop went down. The power supply went on it because Smart hadn't plugged it in correctly, which he'll love me for saying. And yeah, we were just looking at each other thinking, okay, we're now improvising, we've got about 18 minutes left, let's see if we can get it kind of tough. We weren't communicating any more than just looking at each other, completely gobsmacked and terrified. But it went brilliantly. We really did keep it pretty well as the record. I wish we'd recorded it, because then we could do something with it, but we didn't. But that laptop was rather annoying. We won't be using that idea again, I don't think. We will actually, we'll just use a Mac next time.
When we did start to talk to Rob a bit more seriously about what the band wanted, he came with a proposal which looked at, now it sounds very corporate, but it looked at a SWOT of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. But it's really important for you to do what you want to do. Now, it's really important that you don't think of this as something that's you're doing a SWOT and you're doing a business plan because you're going to make a ton of money. You're doing it because you've got to set your goals on what you want them to be. Now, our goals were, we don't want to play just any old little pub, because we'd all been there before. We wanted to do more special things. We wanted to do certain releases. But we had nothing.
What's this? Rob gets in touch to say, hi Gideon, I have an HH Clockwork Concubine flanger that goes to 11. Good on you. Please mention that Brummie Krautrock upstarts Einstellung are supporting original Krautrock Legends Cluster. They've got a new record coming out, haven't they? At Birmingham Town Hall on Thursday the 11th of February. I'll do my best to, but I might forget.
It's a Wednesday evening, about 7 o'clock, and I'm walking through Digbeth, which is an area to the southeast of Birmingham city centre. It's an older industrial area, so it's full of industrial units, and this is where Einstellung have got their rehearsal studio, on the first floor of this building that's just up ahead of me. Actually, it's features on the artwork for Wings of Desire. It's right next to a nice old building which has got a date on it, 1935. Fellows, Morton and Clayton Limited, canal carriers. Just we're right next to the canal, actually. One of the canals that run through crisscross Birmingham city centre. So this is the landscape in which
Einstellung's sound is forged. Right, we're on the first floor and I'm actually going to take the lift today. This is the lift that, the red lift that features on the Wings of Desire sleeve. Danger, do not overload, maximum load 530 kilograms or 20 persons. Well, there's only one of me and I've made it safely to the first floor. Into the rehearsal room. There's a few bands sharing it, and Einstellung have got a room down here. All right. Are they in yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Excellent.
I've been making a lot of noise.
All right.
Hello, Rob.
Hi.
Yeah, he's mixed.
All right.
He's mixed them up on the track listing, but the fucking sound is terrible.
Oh, really? Man.
It's not. I don't know.
Rob, is that recorded?
Like bunnies. Like
I forgot
Got a
everything
room,
we
mate?
did last week.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Everything I ever did.
No,
forgot.
let's do a warm up and then straight into the newie, man. Let's practice him.
Which newie? There's a load of newies.
The
And I forgot them all!
fucking new newie.
Newies the new,
Well,
new,
when we
new,
get
new.
high, isn't it, at the end?
Yeah, the new newie.
And there's the new one, the new, not the new, but the new one.
Oh, the riffing one.
I think so. When I just played it, both.
Yeah, that one. Try crush it.
Yeah. Yeah. Get fucked up, mate.
Two.
Yeah.
Two.
Two.
Everyone.
Four.
8.
Oh, wait, no.
8. Then it's 4s.
Yeah, and the riffs, it's your riff, my riff, Smart's riff, and we christened one of them Size riff. But I
Let's
can't
just get
remember
to the end. Let's just see where we get to.
These the last bit. The bit like going high bit.
Ready?
Oh, yeah.
It's just past 12 on the 2nd of June. I'm in the same room where I recorded Matt Claridge at the start of this documentary. I had no idea where it was going to go. It's time for me to wrap it up. I've been listening to some Einstellung tracks from the new album Nothing on their SoundCloud account, and I don't know what to say really. The only thing I can think of to say is that I wonder if MySpace still exists. That's it from another Krautcast. Until I find another band that makes me feel like they did. Peace and love. Goodbye.